in honor of Shavuot, which is coming this Thursday evening, I wanted to read something from our Siddur. When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it. The whole Torah exists only to establish peace. Its highest teaching is love and kindness. What is hateful to you, do not do to any person. That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization. Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties. But the study of Torah is equal to them all because it leads them to all. Let us learn in order to teach. Let us learn in order to do. Inhale and reach your arms out to the sides and up overhead. And exhale your hands to your heart. Again. And one more. Good. Go ahead and inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, twist to your right. Let your hands come down. As you inhale, return to center. As you exhale, twist over to the left. And do this several times. Beginning to connect the breath and the body. When you come back to center, let your hands draw down the center line at your heart once again. And take a moment to establish your own kavanah. Why are you practicing today in this moment? Why are you here? What are you trying to cultivate or nourish through this practice? Okay, we are going to start on our backs with our yoga straps. And we'll get our legs softened up, warmed up for our standing poses today. So on your back, let's start with the right leg. The left knee can be bent or straight, you choose. And get that strap around the bottom of your right foot. And then slide your shoulders down your back and rest your elbows on the floor and really flex that right foot. Start taking some deep breaths here. And just exploring little micro movements. So just moving the leg maybe 3 to 6 inches in one direction and then the other, and feeling your areas of tightness. And I encourage you to do this very slowly. And then pause here at the center, and then as we've done in class before, we're going to turn the key in the keyhole. So that whole leg is going to internally rotate and then externally rotate. So think of your leg as one solid unit. So the movement, you can see your heel moving in and out, and then that femur, the thigh bone, is also stirring deep in the hip socket. And now take the straps in your left hand and just bring your leg across your body to a place that feels good for you, like a good stretch. Some of you might go into more of a twist with your spine, and some of you might stay in a smaller range of motion to get a stretch in the hip. Breathe here. Keep flexing your foot and really think of kicking the foot or pressing the bottom of the foot into the strap. And then change hands and start to let your leg open out to the side, but keep your belly engaged and that left hip on the floor as best as you can. So we're going to come out to an inner thigh stretch, holding the strap firmly. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. And then a little bend in that right knee, and then bring the leg back up. Very nice. So release the strap and go right into your figure 4 stretch. So cross your right ankle over your left knee or thigh, and hold on to the back of the left thigh. You can always use a strap if you need to for this, to kind of get your leg closer to your body. But flex both feet. And see if you can get the weight to be equally distributed along the sacrum. So often we'll lean to one side or the other with this stretch. So see if it's possible to encourage the weight to be right in the middle. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. And release. Feet on the floor. And now switch sides. So strap goes around the left foot. And really flexing the left foot, reaching for the sky or the ceiling with your heel. And breathe here first, just noticing how it feels. And then just very slow movements, just exploring 3 to 6 inches from that midline, maybe crossing over to the right or to the left. Notice where you feel the sensations in your leg or your hip. And then starting to internally and externally rotate that leg, turning inward and outward, stirring deep in the hip socket with the femur. Keep your foot flexed. And just noticing your range of motion. Is it the same or different than the right side? And then taking the strap now, both of the straps in your right hand, and letting the leg cross the body to a place that feels right for you today. And pressing the leg into the strap. Wherever you're landing, go ahead and press and extend the leg. Three deep breaths here. Come back to center and change hands with your strap and start to open your leg out to the side, mindful of that right hip, keeping it rooted and grounded into the mat. Coming to your inner thigh stretch, and then take 3 full deep breaths here. Bend that left knee just a little bit and bring the leg back to center. Release your strap and take your figure 4 stretch on this side. So left ankle over the right knee or thigh area, and gently pulling the legs toward you with your feet flexed. Finding that middle space on the sacrum if you can. This time we'll add some ankle rotations. Start to wake up those ankles and toes, pointing and flexing. And then take 3 more deep breaths here. And release your feet to the floor. Actually, let's straighten our legs and take a full body stretch first, just opening up, reaching out above you, over your head, and stretching your legs all the way through your toes and fingertips. Good, and then bring your knees, bend your knees and bring your feet back towards your bottom here. And you want to have your feet close to your bottom. You might even be able to kind of touch your heels with your middle fingers possibly, or kind of get close. And then you want your knees to be hip width apart, so that is about the width of your block. So my block, I'm using the skinny width, and I'm placing it between my thighs. And if you don't have one or you don't want to use one, you can just pretend that you have the block there to help you engage your inner thighs and keep your knees pointed straight up. So we'll do a couple of bridges here, so your hands can rest by your side, and then press into your feet and just lift your whole spine up. Just lift the butt and the spine all at the same time to whatever height feels good for you for your first bridge. And imagine or squeeze the block for 3, 2, 1, and then lower your hips. Good. Take a breath. As you exhale, press into your feet and lift up the hips and hold there. And try to avoid squeezing your glutes. Focus more on pressing in through the feet. And imagine that your knees have little lasers and they're just shooting straight out in front of you. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good. Release your block if you have one. And just hug your knees into your chest. Stretch out your lower back. Take happy baby if you enjoy that pose. And now we'll take a gentle twist. So bring your legs, bent knees to the right. If you're having any lower back challenges or stiffness, you can use a block under your knees or between your knees. And open up your arms to a T position and see if that left shoulder and back can rest on the floor. And if it can't, it's okay. You might want to just bend your left arm and bring your hand closer to your body. 3 deep breaths. At the end of your 3rd breath, take your block out if you had one and lift the top knee followed by the bottom knee. And take your twist to the other side. Noticing the difference between the right and left sides of your lower back and your spinal mobility. Three deep breaths. Good, let's engage that belly and bring the knees back to center, straighten out your hips. And then turn to your side and press yourself up. And we'll come into our cat and cow. So make sure those wrists are right under the shoulders and the knees are right under the hips. And rounding through the spine, unless you have osteoporosis, right? You'll stay in neutral. And then everybody can come into that extension of the spine, sits bones pressed up to the sky as you gaze up. And then rounding as you exhale. Inhaling as you arch the back. So we're going to open up the knees and sit back toward our heels for child's pose. Let your head rest on your mat or on a block or on your hands. So taking this time in child's pose to contemplate this idea of the golden calf. So when the Israelites received the Torah, when they received the 10 Commandments, they were on a high to have been in the presence of God. And then Moses ascended Mount Sinai to receive more instructions about these commandments, and the Israelites became impatient. And in their impatience and ignorance, they created a golden calf to worship and to devote themselves to. I love this story because it's relevant today. So because we're approaching Shavuot, it's a great time to really for us to ask ourselves the question, what is it that we devote ourselves to that actually does not give us a spiritual return? It doesn't offer spiritual value, but yet we still spend our time doing it, giving attention to it, devoting, almost worshiping. It's harder to do that when you're stuck in the house. So just thinking about what it is, what's your golden calf? Go ahead and come back on up to all four, hands and knees here, and then start to wag your tail. Just wagging and releasing the head and the spine. Maybe do some circles with your hips. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work here for our core. So I'm going to have you on your hands, or if you have to be on your knuckles, you can. But you're going to keep your hands, walk your hands out in front of you a little bit, and then bend your elbows, and keep your elbows really close to your body and lower yourself down to your bellies. Try to keep your lower back from sinking in as you do that. So I'll do that again. Pull your belly in. Keep your elbows close to your body and lower yourself down. Good. Yes. Good. I see that. I see you guys. Okay. So from here, your hands are going to probably be, the palms should be close to your lower rib cage, and your elbows might be kind of flopping out. So zip those elbows into the ribs. Get them close and tight, and then tighten up your legs. Squeeze your legs so much that your kneecaps kind of come off the floor. And then pull your belly button up. We haven't done this in a while, so I want you to suck your belly button up towards your spine. And keeping your neck long, you're just going to lift the chest and the head off of your mat. It's a little baby cobra. And you should be able to lift your hands off of the floor. And that allows you to know that you've engaged those muscles, but not too much. And now lower down. Take a breath. And then again, press yourself up to your baby cobra. and then lower down. Last time, we're going to inhale, lift the head and the chest, really squeeze those elbows together, and even think of your shoulders, sliding your shoulders down your back, and squeeze your legs together. Good. And lower down. From here, we're going to press into our hands. Do your best to press yourself up. Same way you went into it, you'll come out of it. And take another child's pose. Good, release your back. So those back bends, even the little ones, the baby cobras, are great for massaging your adrenal glands and giving you natural energy. Okay, we're gonna come up to standing at the top of our mat. If you have a block, bring it with you. So let's stand in mountain pose. If you do have a block, actually, or even if you have a pillow that's firm and kind of the width of a block, you can place it between your thighs. Let's do that. And if you don't have a block, it's okay. Just imagine that you do and engage those inner thigh muscles. It also helps to establish how far apart our feet should be from each other. So toes are pointed forward. You're noticing the block and you're giving it a little squeeze. And then you're internally rotating your thigh bones. So as we did in the warm-up, when we used the strap and we turned our leg inward and outward, you're actually turning your leg bones just slightly in toward each other. Almost like the inner thigh bones could start to face the back. So think of just that little adjustment, which is going to broaden the area at the sacrum. Lift your toes, lift them as much as you can, try to spread them out and then place them back down on the floor. Lift the shoulders up and back and down, and let your palms point slightly to the front, just a little open palms. This is mountain pose, Tadasana. Feel your shoulders above your hip bones and notice your weight. Are you rocking forward or back? Find a space in the middle. So right between forward and back, you'll find a place that feels a little more effortless. Unless you're working with an injury, then you may not. And then shift your weight to your right foot and to your left. And then find center. Find center from front to back and side to side. And as your feet are connected firmly to your mat, with your breath, I want you to imagine extending your spine, lifting the spine so that the crown of your head reaches, like it has a string attached to it. It's reaching up toward the sky. Mountain pose. Good, so we're going to remove the block if you had one there. And then just keeping that in your body, the knowledge in your body of the alignment of mountain pose, we'll let that inform the rest of our poses today. Inhale and reach your arms up. And then exhale, dive forward with a flat back. Come to your forward fold, Uttanasana. You can bend your knees if you need to, totally fine. Relax your head and your neck and use your block for support if you need it. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale and look up and just come halfway up. So rest your hands on top of your thighs, back is flat. Breathe here. On your exhale, go ahead and fold again. Inhale, look up, rise up, arms out to the sides, and hands to your heart. Good. Bring your legs together now. So we want to zip up the inner legs and firm the thighs. And we'll inhale, reach up. And exhale, clasp your hands. And you can release your index fingers and lean over to your left side. Breathe here. And on an exhale, come on up. Inhale again. Exhale to the right side. Inhale, come up. Exhale to the other side again, but instead of collapsing in the waist area, think of reaching with your arms, like you're just the shape of a crescent moon. Come back up. Breathe. And exhale over to the other side with a nice long waist, even though you're side bending. And come on up. Good. Release your hands. Bring them all the way down. Shoulders, shrugs. Good. Okay, so you'll open your feet back to hip width apart. We're going to do chair pose, but we won't hold it for very long. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come halfway up. And then exhale, sit back in your heels, but pull your belly in and tuck your tailbone just a little bit. Ziva, I want you to be careful with this one. So if you just need to do a little bit of a bend with your knees, watch out for your lower back. Arms can reach up, or they can be in a goalpost if you have shoulder and neck tension. And you're sitting back, bringing the weight to your heels as much as you can. Good, and then release, fold all the way. And rise up nice and slow, reach up, full deep breaths and hands to your heart. Good. Let's do a little bit of massage with the feet just to help support our balance. So grab your ball, or if you're not using a ball, you can sit now and just work on your feet with your thumbs and knuckles. And we'll just give our feet a little rub here. Start with your right foot. And keep your breath flowing. So today I'm focusing a lot on moving the ball from the right to the left to broaden the base of the foot. And I'm going right to left, and I'm just working my way from the ball of my foot all the way down toward right where the heel starts. Okay, let's switch to the left foot. Always feel free to pause in any area that feels extra tight to give it a chance to release. Good. Let's go ahead and let that ball go. Move it off of your mat. And we'll come into our warrior one pose. So bring your right foot forward. I'll go sideways here. Right foot forward. Line up your front heel with your back heel about, but you can always step your back leg out to the side a little bit if you need more space for your lower back. And you're going to bend your front knee as much as you are comfortable, make sure you can still see your toes, and then reach those arms up. Pull the belly in, bend the knee, so the shoulders are out of the ears, but yet the arms are reaching. Yes, you all look beautiful. Okay, we're gonna go right from warrior one into warrior two. So warrior one, we're gonna open up the arms, look out over the right arm. And if your lower body, your feet need to adjust a little bit, you can do that. Keep your front knee bent, and breathe. So when we did our baby cobra, we really activated the muscles between our shoulder blades at the lower part. So I want you to do that again. Imagine you're drawing those shoulder blades together, chest is broadening and opening, and breathe. Good. From here, keep your front knee bent and drop your back hand and lift your front hand and take your reverse warrior or exalted warrior. Breathe here, gaze up, and then float your hands back to warrior two. Very nice. Bring your hands to your heart and turn to the top of your mat and step forward. Good. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, let it all go. Start to look up and then reach your arms out to your sides and rise up. Belly's engaged so you keep your lower back safe, hands to your heart. All right, let's do that series on the second side. So left foot will be forward this time. And this is for warrior one. So front and back heel may line up. Draw the navel in and reach your arms up. And remember, in past classes, we've done that warrior 1.5 where you're not worrying about keeping your hips coming forward, but you're really thinking more of your waist rotating to the front. So it helps to keep discomfort out of the SI joint. So feel your back leg connected to your mat. Breathe. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Spread your fingers wide. And now let your arms come down, gaze over your left hand. I'm kind of feeling like I need to adjust my front foot a little bit more to line up with my back arch. See if you need to adjust your lower body. Pinch those shoulder blades together and breathe. Good. Exalted warrior. Drop your back hand and reach for the heavens with your front arm. Keep your knee bent. And receive. Think of the receiving of wisdom, of infinite divine wisdom, just pouring down and you're receiving it. And then float your arms back to warrior two. And this pose is, what do we do with that wisdom? What actions do we take as a result of receiving the wisdom? Bring your hands to your heart and turn to face the top of your mat and come to mountain pose. So find the mountain that we were in as we started. Feel your stability. Feel your feet on the floor. They might feel a little more stable now that we've massaged them. Notice all the parts of your feet that are connected to the earth. Feel the length of your spine as it rises up toward the sky. And feel your shoulders softening down your back. Good. Let's take a balance pose. We'll do our lovely tree pose. So let's start with our left leg as our balancing leg. And your right foot is going to come somewhere inside your leg, just not on the knee joint itself. So pick a spot that foot's going to press into the leg and the leg is going to press into the foot. Always know you can use support if you need it. And the more you press the foot and the leg together, the more you're going to rise up. You'll feel yourself rooting down and rising up at the same time. So we stay put and then we can ascend. So reaching the arms, the branches, however you want to today. So they might be wide branches, they might be tall branches. Maybe you are feeling like you just want your hands at your heart. Choose your tree pose today, your Vrikshasana. Good, and release. You can shake that standing leg out for a second. And then we'll move to the right side as our balancing side. So think of your whole foot really rooting into the mat without curling up your toes though. Think of your toes being free and the roots coming from the ball of your foot. And then as woo, establish your balance, pressing your foot into your leg into foot, woo. It's fun if you say woo when you're losing your balance. Breathe. This is a really hard side for me today. Find your branches and find your breath is really the most important thing. So if you're breathing through whatever imbalance you're experiencing in your life, as long as you're breathing, you will get through it. And in fact, the breath will help carry you through it with more grace and more ease. Well, you guys look fantastic. Go ahead and release. Good. Shake out that standing leg. So let's do our breath of joy and cultivate some inner joy. So you can have your legs wider than hip width and nice soft knees. And we're going to inhale, sniff, 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 and then exhale. Good. Last one. Good. Let's bring our feet back under our hips. Okay, so I think we should do wood chopper. I think it's a good time to do wood chopper. So release any frustrations, any built up tension or stress or even stagnant energy. So let's open up the legs again and soften the knees. And you know, I can't hear you. You'll be able to hear me, but we can't hear each other. But let's remember what it sounded like in the past when we do wood chopper together. That collective power of letting go so that you can make room for what's next, what's coming next that's going to be for your good. So let's clasp our hands and then breathe in and reach up with our axes and then ha! I bet that was loud. I apologize. Inhale. Ha! Good. Ha! 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 Good. Two more. Ha! Last one. Ha! Good. And then stand and just take a moment. Stand in your mountain pose, your lower body, but bring your hands into bent elbows, palms up, really soft palms, in a shape or a pose of receiving. You can close your eyes or gaze softly out in front of you. And just soften into this pose of receptivity, even while you're firmly planted, firmly grounded. Imagine yourself and your ancestors, our global family, receiving wisdom, receiving truth. And feel the honor of receiving that, of being the recipient of wisdom and truth. And we hold this wisdom, we hold this truth as a gift and as a responsibility. So we hold it tenderly and yet fiercely. Bring your hands to your heart and breathe. Okay, let's come down to our backs and bring with you anything you might need for Shavasana. So we're going to come onto our backs and hug the knees into the chest again. And we'll take an inversion at this point, whatever you would like to do to bring those legs up. So I know some of you will use the block to support your hips, and some of you may take another inversion of your choice. So let's find a way to settle in for a few breaths. Let's say 10 breaths with those legs up. We're going to bend our knees and slowly bring them toward the chest, and then one foot at a time toward the floor. If you were in your supported legs up position, go ahead and let the block go. And then take a final twist. So in your own timing. So twisting to one side and taking at least 3 to 5 breaths there. And then changing to the other side. When you're done, you can rest in Shavasana. And of course, any other stretches that you would like to do before Shavasana, please take the time for those. As you hear the sound of the bell, allow that to draw you into a restful place for the next few moments. As you hear the bell, focus on exhaling and letting go of anything that you can on a physical level. And letting go of anything that you're ready to let go of on an emotional level. And letting go, or even just making more space, softening into whatever emotions are there. As your body softens, as you settle into the most important pose in yoga, that one of integration. I'll read the reading again that we started with and notice if anything stands out for you in this place of receptivity. When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it. The whole Torah exists only to establish peace. Its highest teaching is love and kindness. What is hateful to you, do not do to any person. That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization. Honoring one another, doing acts of kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties. But the study of Torah is equal to them all because it leads to them all. Let us learn in order to teach, and let us learn in order to do. Letting the body rest as deeply as possible, knowing that when we are resting, when we are being still, that is when the wisdom arises. That is when revelation occurs from the deep place of stillness. Shiviti Adonai Leneti Tamid. Shiviti Adonai Leneti Tamid. I place the Lord before me always, always. I place the Lord before me always, always. Shiviti Adonai Lenedi Tamid. Shiviti Adonai Lenedi Tamid. I place the Lord before me always, always. I place the Lord before me, always, always. In this moment of peace, welcome any wisdom, any inspiration or revelation to make itself known, to reveal itself to you. What is your body sharing with you? What is your heart and your mind sharing with you? What does your soul want to say to you? Take a nice deep breath and let it out. And begin to awaken your body with some small movements. And gradually finding yourself on your side for a few breaths before you press yourself up to seated. Shiviti Adonai Lenedi Tamid. Shiviti Adonai Lenedi Tamid. I place the Lord before me always, always. I place the Lord before me always, always. Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid. Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid. Please join me in our call and response prayer. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be loved.